Got a treat for you today. 8-time world champion roper, a real-life cowboy, Fred Whitfield in the studio. We got the livestock show rodeo in town. Fred, a lot of fierce competitors like yourself out there.
Well, it really is. You know, this year the competition's gotten even better out there. And, you know, so far things are going pretty good for me. I managed to get out of the first round, and second round starts next week for me, so I'm excited.
Good, good. Now tell us how you got started in this. You know, a lot of people, I don't know what how does a cowboy get started?
Well, I grew up just on the northwest side of the city, out around Cypress, and my mom worked for an oil company there, and their son had horses and stuff, and I'd go over every day after grade school and just kind of got introduced to the sport of calf roping.
What's the training like?
Oh, it just depends. You know, I'm a little older now, and I still try to practice every day, you know, 2 or 3 hours a day, and raise quite a few young horses out at our place out in Hockley, Texas. And so when I get out of bed in the morning, I'll go feed the horses, clean a few stalls, and start saddling.
Talk about the athleticism that it takes. I mean, the kids around here, a lot of football fans, baseball players, you know, we know the kind of training it takes. But for a cowboy, strength, agility, what's important?
Well, it's basically the same. You know, like nowadays, a lot of kids grow up being athletes before they ever, you know, learn how to rope or ride a horse. And, you know, in my case, it was just the opposite. I learned to be a cowboy before I worried about working out and doing all that stuff. And I try to work out from time to time. I used to really run a little, but my knees bother me, so it's either on the treadmill or a bicycle now.
All right, but you say you're roping every day. I mean, the main deal, the main training is your practice, right?
Well, yes, sir. Believe it or not, you could take a guy from the city and put him out there and do a little bit of roping and stuff, and he'd be so sore the next day he wouldn't be able to walk. Even with you going to the gym and working out and stuff, because it's muscles you never use.
Sure, sure. For the kids that are out there, some of the families that are up early watching, there's a kid out there fascinated with what you guys do. What do you say to the little tykes that want to do this when they grow up?
Well, the first thing is, you know, I live outside the city. There's a lot of guys around here that rope. You know, you get with a guy that knows, you know, the ropes of how to get started. And it's no different than building a house. You know, you got to start from the ground up. First you pour the form, then you bring in the concrete, and then you do all that stuff. And, you know, it sounds complicated, but with the right instructor and if you go about it the right way, it's kind of simple.
Well, for me, I'm thinking complicated during competition. I mean, you've got a lot of variables. You got the horse to think about, you got the calf to think about, and there you are spinning the rope too.
Well, there's three different things that are working against you. You know, you're competing on an animal, which, you know, they're very unpredictable. Then you've got a horse that you've got to be in sync with. So there's a lot of things that can go wrong, but when it goes right, it looks pretty good.
And for you, it's gone right a lot. 8-time world champ. I mean, what's that been like?
I've been pretty fortunate, you know, over the years to be able to go up and down the road and be my own boss and you know, make money doing it. The cowboy way of life has been great for me.
Tough being on the road at all, being away. I know you've got the family at home as well.
I do have a wife and 2 kids, and you know, last year we were talking a little earlier that I didn't have to travel as much because I had a good winter, meaning I had enough money won that I was basically not really a cinch, which that's one of my sponsors, but, you know, I basically had the finals made. I just had to go, you know, to the rest of the rodeos to maintain my position, being top 5 of the world.
So it must be great being at Rodeo Houston then.
Well, it is. You know, I'm always excited to compete here. They bring the best guys here, and the competition's pretty swift. And, you know, I'm considered a wily veteran now, I guess, so to speak. And, I just love still being able to go and compete and beat those kids.
All right, Fred, now we got some competition to go. So you give us a demonstration, kind of explain what you're doing and show us how it works for city boys, especially like me.
First of all, whenever you're at the rodeo, when I'm at the Reliant, and the judges will draw me a calf, and then I have to compete on that calf. And then the box is 16 foot deep, and the barrier would be -3, so the calf's going to get about a 13-foot head start on me. So you back in there and you nod, and your horse is anticipating that calf leaving, and then the key to the game is to run across there and rope him as fast as you can. And after you rope him, you need to hold your slack. You go one way or the other, switch that calf around, that keeps him on his feet, and then you go down and flank him in time, and the fastest guy wins.
So there's a lot of strength, too. I mean, you know, I've been out to the rodeo a few times. I'm amazed every time to see you guys sprint out of that box, you rope that calf, and you're off the horse in a split second.
Well, and it's all timing, you know. Whenever everything flows, it looks really great, but if a guy would get out of sync, whether it be in me or one of the other competitors, you could tell sitting in the stands that something's going wrong.
They're asking me to try it. Can you... do I have a shot, Fred? I don't want to hit you. I mean, what am I doing here?
No, just swing it over the top of your head.
Swing
there you go.
The top.
There you go.
All right.
Throw it. host.
All right, I'm roping the cameras now. We got talk. Can I do another one? We have a second? They got us. Fred, you're a good man. I appreciate that. Putting up with me
There you
here.
go. Just over the top of your head. Don't throw it as hard.
Oh, I'm thinking it had a 13-foot. Sorry, Chef Larry over there. All right, I'm messing this whole thing up. Fred, when are you competing again next? When can we see you out there?
I'm up Wednesday night. It'll be the first round of the qualifying, the second qualifying. So hopefully things will go good there. And then I'd be up again Saturday in the top 10 run, one for 50,000. So
Wednesday night. Good
hopefully
luck to you,
things will
Fred.
go good.
We'll be out there watching you. Appreciate you coming in and trying to teach me. Maybe I'll take another shot in the break.